University, Mangalore. Welcome to another session of Clinical Webinar Diaries Season 2 hosted by Student Council of Alvas Homeopathic Medical College, Mangalore, powered by Advent Biotech Private Limited. We are very pleased to be able to welcome you all to the session we'll get to have today on the topic Common Psychiatric Conditions and its Homeopathic Approach. Today, we have an excellent academician and practitioner of homeopathy, Professor Dr. Girish Navada, UK, to enlighten us. He is Professor and Head of the Department of Psychiatry at Father Muller's Homeopathic Medical College, Mangalore. Sir, we are indeed privileged and honored to have you with us today. I, on behalf of Alva's family, warmly welcome you to the session, sir. I also welcome our Principal, Dr. Praveen Raj, Vice Principal, Dr. Roshan Pinto, and AO, Dr. Pratnya Alva, who have been constantly supporting us. Not least of all, I welcome all the attendees who are joining us today for the session. A warm welcome to all. Have a good time ahead. Over to you, sir.
Yeah, good evening, one and all. Am I audible?
Sir, you are audible, sir, but the slide is got stuck, sir. We can't see the slide, I think, sir.
Okay. Now you are able to see?
Yes, sir. Perfect, sir. We can see the slides.
Right. Okay, good evening, one and all. And I must thank Dr. Praveen Raj, the principal of Alvas. And also I thank Dr. Roshan Pinto, Vice Principal of Alvas Medical College, and all the student body, especially Manish and his team. They're doing a noble and good job of conducting this particular webinars. Straight into the topics, I would like to bring you all into common mental disorders and homeopathic approach. As we all know, the homeopathically we do treat the psychiatric conditions, and we are in infantry steps to treat such psychiatry. Psychiatry is a vast, and it is even in the modern system of psychiatry is not well developed. Why I say this is because every other medical disease has got etiological diagnosis, but at psychiatry we do not have etiological diagnosis. We have phenomenological diagnosis or experienced based categories which on which we make a diagnosis using ICD-10 and DSM-5. This is what happens. We may require another 20 to 30 years of psychiatric work to diagnose homeopathically. I mean, even in modern psychiatry wise, to come to an etiological diagnosis. So for us, whatever it is not very important what diagnosis, how you do and all those, but primarily we need to understand what symptomatologically presentations are there with the patient and how he comes with what group of symptoms are available. According to that, we may have to go and diagnose him homeopathically also. So as a beginning of my presentation, I would say there are many common mental disorders that comes to our institutions, or maybe in our OPD, or it may be in our clinical units, or it may be in our private practices also. The most lot what comes is a group of mental disorder. They seek help of homeopathy. The right now the incidence rate of homeopathic cases are more. The reporting to the homeopathic units are more because no satisfactory treatment available. Even if it is available, and there are some effects and ill effects are there, and such huge lot of difficulties, the people to overcome that, they may opt homeopathy as an if not main, they may use it as an adjuvant also. So in this note, I would like to go what are the common mental disorders and less common types of mental disorder that we have. Most importantly, the disorders which comes to our mind whenever we see the common thing is anxiety disorders. I think everybody has might have experienced this anxiousness and anxiety. It is normal. So anxiety disorder, when you call, it is something which you need to have, which is very severely and it disturbs the daily routines, a kind of a disturbance which influences on the productivity of a person. So in that category, it becomes an anxiety disorders. Likewise, we have mood disorders. Mood disorders also, it is everybody has got a kind of mood with, maybe we feel situationally depressed, or we situationally elated, etc. But it cannot be called as a disorder. When it comes to the disorder, again, it has to have something to do with the disturbance in daily functioning without any reasons, these fluctuations of variations, and then it goes to a state of a disorder. Okay. Likewise, psychotic impulse control. Likewise, let us go straight away with anxiety disorder. Now here, anxiety disorder is diagnosed if a person is not appropriate for the situation. Okay, the responses are not appropriate to the situation, then we call it as an anxiety disorder. If the person has uh, uh, the anxiety interferes is normal functioning, then it is another important indications. There are certain examples that we can say anxiety disorders. There is generalized anxiety disorder, the panic disorder, social anxiety disorder, or specific phobias. Not only this category, even there is an control, obsessive compulsive diseases, that also comes under anxiety disorder basically. Now here one small clue, how do you come to this anxiety disorder diagnosis? If there is a definite stressors, then person suffers with certain diseases. Like if there is a definite stressors means the life situation where person is experienced, that results into this particular phenomena. Like if a person's close relative is dead, or his friend is dead, a loss of financial situation, or he experienced such a worst situation in his life, like either there is a some assault or some sexual abuse. Likewise, these are all called stressors. If these stressors lead to a certain disorder, then those disorders are likely to be called as either it is a phobic, or it must be something to do with PTSD, that is called post traumatic stress disease, or ASD, acute stress disorders. So there is a specific stressors, then these are the diseases which comes under that. If there is no stress response at all, then there is a difficulties are arised in a person who cannot control the responses. He cannot, the responses are not appropriate to the situation. Then this generalized anxiety disorder or panic disorder, or you can call it as a social anxiety disorders also would come. So here mainly it is related with the stresses or no stressors. If no stressors, it's likely to be a general anxiety disorder or panic disorder. Now, in case of generalized anxiety disorder, it is an every time distressed mind with without any reasons, whereas panic is something very acute, the acutely which is presented. Now, in case of panic and anxiety, both you have a somatic symptom, but the multifold of expressions are there in the panic disorder, where a person is having a terrible, we can say, the more or less a kind of panicky state which is expressed with the physical illnesses, like maybe somatizations leading to a palpitations, or there is a oppressed feeling as if there will be heart attack is going to happen, or there is a breathlessness, or a kind of an distress which is comes very acutely, which is unable to control to a person. It may last 10 to 15 minutes. Sometimes person will come with whether I may experience the similar situation again and again, then it is a definite sign of panic disorders. Okay, so likewise, we have a categorically, we have to differentiate this particular differentiation in our clinic or unit, or even in the institutional practice. Okay, the next I go to a mood disorder. Collectively, I will say how homeopathically we can approach all this disorder at the later time. Now, let me go with the mood disorder. Mood disorder, also called as an affective disorder, it involves a persistent feeling of sadness or the period of feeling of overly happy. Okay, fluctuations. These are the three important component in case of mood disorder. He may be extremely sad. We call sadness lead to a depression or kind of depressive diagnosis, or maybe overly happy, which we call it as a mania, or elated mood, or kind of manic expressions. Or there may be a fluctuation like cyclothymic, we say cyclothymic to bipolarity. That means the mood varies from a state of depression to a state of happiness. That's a mania. So there is a variations. The milder form is called cyclothymic, whereas a severe form of extreme state is called a bipolarity. The word bipolarity is more or less nowadays very common, and we can hear every now and then from the media also. So I think it is more aware. We are all aware of this particular word. But what is this? The depression, bipolarity, cyclothymic disorder are nothing but these are all the mood variation. The categorically, again I say, this mood aspect or mood and affect are the category on which we usually diagnose this particular state. That is depression. There may be a depression. There are so many things: brief depressive disorder to depressive episodes, or recurrent depressive disorder, or there may be an adjustment disorder, or there may be many such diagnoses are there under depression itself. It depends on the how the onset and how long it is present in a person. Likewise, bipolarity also, bipolar 1 or 2, likewise there are diagnostically we can differentiate. Okay. Next very important thing is psychotic disorder. The psychotic disorders are disorders involves distorted awareness and thinking. Two of the most common symptoms of psychotic disorders are, one is hallucination, the second is a delusion. Okay, and most of the time psychotic disorder will not have any the reality. The word we say psychosis also for this only. There is a predominant state of delusion, or there is a hallucination, or there is a state where there is an unaware of the diseases. That means loss of insight. When we say this, there is a psychosis. What is neurosis? Neurosis, they will be involved, they know the inner awareness that they have a disease. That is the insight. Okay, but here the psychotic disorders have majorly the hallucination and the delusions. Now when you say hallucination, hallucination is something which is leads a perceptual problem. Okay, where without any stimulus the person perceives the senses, like he can see something when there is no object is available. He can hear something which is no the actual sounds are available, or it may be a gustatory or tactile, or it may be any other 5 senses that you can see, olfactory also. It is very important what type of hallucination is available, because we know the neuroanatomy and neurochemistry through which organs affinity, where the senses are generates and how it is regulated. So in such explanations that we can go through where exactly the hallucination, what type of hallucination, and what type of the disturbance. For an example, if there is a auditory hallucination, then it predominantly comes to the temporal area. Then we can think of there is some temporal lobe epilepsy or some related some neurological phenomena we may have to rule out, or it may be occipital area, it likely to be an visual. Okay, we may have to see either occipital, or it may be in the frontal lobe itself. Usually it is combined with, because frontal lobe which is usually regulates this. Okay, likewise another important context is delusion. Delusion is nothing but it's a false belief in spite of the you explain to them it is not, but they will have a persisted fixed belief on the stimuli. Okay, so for an the common example that what we hear every now and then is like rope and snake. Okay, even if you convince that it's not a rope, it is they believe it is a snake only, so they will not get change their beliefs. So such examples that you can take. So here there are different type of delusions are there, inclusion of like delusion of grandiose, or delusions of like broadcasting, like thoughts are broadcasted, thoughts are usually the blocked, likewise. Okay, now examples what we say here, the more psychotic disorders are coming up, like schizophrenia itself. Schizophrenia is like usually 16 to 45 years of age, people come up with schizophrenia. But if it is early, it is called early onset of schizophrenia. If it is a late 45 years later, if it comes, it is a late onset. But if it is a late, then we may have to think about either any organic psychiatric disorders has to be ruled out. There is another incident, I mean, diagnostic word called delusional disorder. These are the certain example. There are so many psychotic disorders are available, including substance abuse or mood disorder associated with the psychotic phenomena likewise. But very commonly what we say schizophrenia and delusional disorders. Another important thing is related with our weight and look appearance likewise. So eating disorder. Eating disorders frequently what we come like it involves extreme emotions, attitudes and behaviors involving the weight and the food. Okay, here three important categories are there. One is anorexia nervosa. As we all know, anorexia nervosa is something which is like person feels that if he takes any kind of calories, he will get into the problem. So he will start avoiding it. So extreme state of like he is not able to have it, and anorexia will develop and lead to a thinning, emaciations, and then subsequently all the discomforts. Okay, the second category where it comes to bulimia nervosa. The bulimia nervosa is food, especially the person feels like eating very frequently, and the most distressing and the most dangerous eating disorder that they want to reduce it by either by purging or vomiting, inducing vomiting, or by purging by taking medications, etc. This results in a damage to the body, and it may be very dangerous phenomena. Again, binge eating habits, like a person keeps on eating every now and then, more than is the normal common eating habits. Like instead of eating every 6 hour gap, the person starts eating every hourly or 2 hourly, and eats the huge quantity of food. That's why you call it a binge eating disorder. All this is eating disorders primarily because of the extreme state of emotional disturbance, or there may be other state is involved with the appearance of them and the food that they like. Another category what we see right now is impulse control and addiction disorder. See here the impulse control disease and additional addictions, like we say here, they cannot stop their urges. A kind of impulse which is generated, they keep very harmful to other people and results in kind of distress. The examples like pyromania, setting fires, or there may be a kleptomania, stealing. This stealing can be happening in anywhere. Your own close friend may be having this kleptomania, but he will not bother whether you are a friend or enemy to him. He just do that because that much impulse which comes up. Or compulsive gambling. These are the certain very common things. Alcohol and drugs are very common objects of addictions. So most of the time, this impulse control, they will keep alcohol and drug into the addictive thing. Often people with this disorder become so involved with the objects of their addictions, and that they begin to ignore responsibility and relationship. This is the worst phenomena which is happening. Once they are addicted to these objects, then there will be a life is miserable. Okay. Then comes the personality disorder. This is a personality which develops over a period from the childhood to the adolescent to adult. So personality disorder people will have extreme inflexible personality traits that are distressing to the person, or causes in work or school or social relationships likewise. The person's patterns of thinking and behavior significantly differs from expectation of the society. That's why it becomes a disorder, are so rigid that they interfere with the person's normal functioning. So when this becomes affecting the normal, then we call here one thing which I would like to say: who is normal? Okay, according to this one, if there is a category, we are within this particular range of emotions, range of activities, then we call it normal. If it goes to extreme, then it becomes a normal. Every now and then we also do certain activities which becomes abnormal. we are not called as an abnormal people unless we continue to do it without any reasons. Here also, the persons of personality disorder will have the similar range. They have a common behavior, but there are certain extreme behavior which becomes very rigid and unable to change, then becomes a personality disorder. Likewise, we have an antisocial paranoid personality or schizoid personality or a histrionic personality. There are many things are there, like cluster A, cluster B, cluster C. Among that, we have so many disorders like that. Some examples I give. For an example, histrionic personality. When he comes histrionic personality, he will become a very dramatic way of expression. Okay, simple phenomena. There is an argument between husband and wife starts beating husband in the public. Okay, so this is nothing but it's a dramatic way of expressions. So that's what called as histrionic behavior. So whether it is in disorder, every now and then it happens on different contexts, then we call it histrionic personality disorder. Like it may be in a between the relationship, or it may be in case of school, or it may be in the job area, or it may be anywhere. So this behavior is there everywhere, then it likely to be goes to a category of histrionic personality. Likewise, we have an antisocial behavior or paranoid and obsessive compulsory disorders. All these are personality disorders. Okay, we can differentiate with our categories of ICD-10 or DSM-4 very clearly. But remember, we cannot diagnose this personality disorder below 18 years. So always we have to diagnose after 18 years, because it is a trait which is continues to be the disorders. Now here once again I am trying to bring that obsessive compulsive disorder, which I have explained in anxiety disorder. It's a form of anxiety disorder basically, but it can associate it with any other psychotic disorder also. So what we have to think in obsessive compulsive, there is an obsessive thoughts, the thoughts which comes repeatedly, the same thoughts which goes off, like it is there constantly. And with this thought, the person's daily routines or performance, everything will affect. And later on, it goes to a rituals, like he has to, this thought has to be answered. So like if a person is thinking that door is not locked, this is the thought process, the door is not locked. Okay, the door is not locked. So every time when he thinks of this, he must go and check it. So he'll become a checker. So he'll go and check the whether latches is put properly or not. Or sometimes he may feel there is a contaminations in the hand. So there may be, nowadays is very common. But if there is a contamination, then what he is supposed to do? He has to go and wash. So he feels there is a germ in the hands. So this thoughts is a germ in the hands. But what is that rituals and compulsive act is? He must wash, like that, washers. So like that, there are so many way of presentation of this OCDs are very common and quite difficult, because it is a very early onset, the early life of psychodevelopmental stages. If you remember well about Freudian anal stage of development, this is one of the example which is given when is a toilet training happens. If there is a any fixation, then it may lead to an obsessive compulsive disorder. So it goes back to the anal phase of year of development. It may be 1.5 year to 3.5 years. So that is the training phase, and the person gets fixed up. Then he goes to an obsessive compulsive disorder. So this is also very common in our clinics, but quite difficult to manage this. I'll tell you why it is quite difficult, because the person has got persistent thought and difficulty to come out of his routinistic ideations. It needs the constant motivation and observations, and likewise. There are some the thoughts which may create a havoc to the person. All that we have to consider. About homeopathic approach, I will discuss in the next subsequent slides. The post-traumatic stress disorder, as I said again, this is with the stressors, the development of some changes. Like this is a condition developed following a traumatic or terrifying events, such as the sexual or physical assault, or unexpected death, or natural disaster. So people with PTSD often have lasting and frightening thoughts and memories of the events. So they tend to become later on emotionally numb. So what is this PTSD? It is a state of, again I say, it is an anxiety disorder with the stressors. The subsequently the state is develops. If it persisted more than 6 months, then it likely to be post-traumatic. Usually it will be better with 6 months, but if it persisted and even it recurrence incidents is happening, reminary, I mean, you can say it's a kind of thinking again and again the same events leads to same situation of depressed or likewise, then become numb. You have to consider PTSD as a main diagnosis. Okay, so there are some less common things are there, like stress response syndrome. It is called as adjustment syndrome. It usually you have to think within 3 months of the situation to ends by 6 months itself. Okay, this is what the less common, but it is there. It happens very frequently. Suppose there is an earthquake or there is a flood or some other events, or there is an accident or major illnesses or interpersonal problems like divorce or kind of an death of loved ones, likewise. So any situation can starts this particular adjustment disorder, or stress response syndrome is a modern and the recent terminology for the same adjustment disorder. Okay, so stress response syndrome usually begin within 3 months of the event or situation. It is all secondary to the events and ends within the 6 months after the stressor stops. Okay, and are eliminated. So even after the flood comes and goes, this within 6 months, this particular phenomena is persisting. Okay, so if this is within 6 months, 3 months to 6 months, then we call it adjustment disorder. Okay. There are diseases called dissociative disorder. It's a very famous. Earlier days we used to call like conversive disorder, hysteric, or maybe multi-personality disorder, or kind of split personality. Likewise, these are all nothing but dissociative disorder. And there may be some defense mechanism in a person which affects him into this particular phenomena. And people with this disorder suffers with severe disturbances or changes in memory, the consciousness, identity, and general awareness of the themselves and their surroundings. This is what happens most of the time. This cognitive impairment develops in particularly dissociative disorder is very important to understand. Okay, these disorders usually are associated with overwhelming stress or maybe results with the traumatic events or accidents, even the disasters. Okay, but it is subsequently goes into a state of there is a loss of memory, or person will not consciously remember it, or its cognitive impairment will develop. The factitious disorders very frequently it happens, especially when there is a person desires for secondary gain or primary gain phenomena. So malingering and other aspects we can think of. So factitious disorders are conditions in which a person knowingly or intentionally creates a complaint of physical or emotional symptoms order to place individual in a role of a patient and a person in need of help. So it is more or less gain phenomena, so that like sick leaves are availed or kind of incentives are taken, and there may be a secondary gain will be there. So very often we talk about this disorder. Okay, malinger is a secondary gain. The person can avail some benefits out of it. So such things are called as a secondary gain. Okay, the sexual and gender identity disorders, it's not very rare. It's common nowadays. People are changing the genders or transvestism, or you can call it as, there are many disorders which comes up. Okay, so there is initially it starts with sexual dysfunction. It is a neurotic phenomena which happens to sexual dysfunction. Even Dark syndrome is very commonly known. ICD-10 it is depicts very well. And similarly, there are so many other sexual dysfunctions are available. Okay, so sexual dysfunction becomes one of the important sexual and gender disorder, whereas gender identity disorder becomes little complicated and difficult in managing such disorders. And there is a paraphilias. Okay, paraphilias are also important to understand. Somatic symptoms and disorders we may have to identify. Earlier we know psychosomatic disorders and somatoform disorder experiences the physical symptoms of an illness or pain with an excessive disproportionate level of distress, regardless whether are not able to find a medical cause for the symptoms. So without any or with medical causes, this becomes a somatic pain syndrome. Okay, the tick syndrome, it is not very rare, very frequently we can see. It may be simple ticks. Everybody may have some small ticks or ticks behavior, but when it becomes more uncontrolled and becomes a frequent, and it is a visible, then either it may be a vocal tics or it may be motor tics. The Tourette syndrome becomes one of the important example in this. Okay, and another important, frequently we see the conditions like dementia, delirium, and sleep disorders. But it's not very frequently, but dementia may come into our clinics very frequently, because most of the treatment available for the dementia are not very satisfactory, even in other mode of treatments. But homeopathically, we have by and large, we have a good answers for dementia. The delirious states, most of the time acute form it will be, and it's associated with some other acute illnesses. So we may not see, but nowadays it is very common with even the COVID fever or something like that. So most of the fever associated or some acute form we may get, where there is a altered consciousness which is present. Okay, sleep related disorders we may get very frequently in the clinic, but it may not be primarily a sleep related disorder. It may be associated with any other disease also. So we have to be a little careful when they come with insomnia, why it is insomnia, what is the reason. So we may have to go back to our history, whether it is how frequently it has come, when it has come, and all that information has to be collected, whether it's associated with some other comorbid state. Okay, the most important in our psychiatric behavioral pattern, common behaviors, what we see is, one is self-harming. It's very dangerous. The people may come in a distress and they start doing self-harming. Either they cannot express their inner feelings. They just do it on the physical, that either hurting them or cutting them or likewise. Okay. So here what we have to see, that inner cry, they cannot express, they express in this form of violence to the self. The second important phenomena that we have to understand is suicidal thought. Is there any suicidal thoughts to anybody? So if there is a suicidal thoughts, suicidal planning, and the suicidal ideations which is existing in a person, you may have to identify. There are disorders which is associated more major depressions, borderline personality disorders, and schizophrenia has to be ruled out. But if it is there, then we have to take extra care, because anytime 24/7 monitoring has to be done to this particular state of the behavior. And another important, as I said, it's a panic attacks. Panic attacks are very distressing, and like person can go into any state of level of his thinking, even to end his life with that attack. But only thing, calming down and educating him in explaining him what is panic attacks are is very important. So here, to say that experience of an attack, they may find it hard to breathe, or feel their heart beating is hard, or may choke, a chest pain, or begin to tremble, or feel faint. It's like this is just like an heart attack. So it is not uncommon, happens every now and then. People come up with this particular phenomena, and it has to be, cannot be neglected just like that. Then relevant investigation need to be done, why it is developed. If there is nothing evident of any medical illnesses, then definitely you can label as a panic attacks. As I said, panic attacks comes without any the stresses. But in real situation, the only one differentiation, in real situation they'll be very comfortable. Even if they get real the problems of like claustrophobic person who comes, he develops a, when thinking about tunnels which is very closed, he will get a panic. But when he's really into the tunnel, he will not get any panics. He'll in fact, he'll challengefully, he'll come out of that. So this is nothing but it's a panic. That's how. These are the three important category that we have to identify in the behaviors, especially that suicidal thoughts, self-harming, and a kind of panic attacks are a little dangerous. We have to give an extra importance. Now comes to the causes of mental health problems. As we all know, there are difficult family situations, there are stressful life events, there are biochemical changes in the body, that is, we can call biological changes, and genes. Okay, now the theories comes like epigenetic and the genetic causes like a change in the DNA or change in other aspects of the DNAs, okay, which leads to the disease phenomena in a person. The physical health problems, okay, like there may be a head injury or subsequently some other diseases which is developed likewise, or it may be a social problem. So altogether what we have to consider, there is a bio, psycho, socio, environmental factors and including cultural, okay, it's not mentioned in this particular slide, but cultural aspects also. All this is very important. What we have to remember is every population different geographical distribution, they have a set of psychotic disorder percentage, they have set of homo disorder percentage, they have set of anxiety disorder percentage. It is very common. So that means it is, we are all in any populations, when we consider, they are prone to this particular percentage of the disease, mainly because of the same gene which is traveled I think in the ancient days everywhere, so equally distributed every population. So ultimately what we may have to find out this particular etiologically, biological reasons, psycho, socio, environmental, cultural, the factors which is required. Here we can identify what is the maintaining factors and what is the definitely fundamental causes. As per homeopathic case taking, we'll able to find out what exactly the problems maintains the disease, as well as exactly where is the problem. So even the fundamental diseases which we can go ahead. There are certain diseases which I have not mentioned was like childhood disorders, or even I have not mentioned about learning disorders like that. That's more on pediatric group of this one. It's of course it is a pediatric psychiatry, which I have not mentioned about it, but it is there. Okay, we deal most of such cases every day and in and out in our OPD. This is exactly the mental status examination we do to every cases to understand the current ideations of the psychiatric behavior. So how the current state of mind is present. So mental status examination will be done. It starts with appearance, behavior, attitude, and level of consciousness, orientation, speech and language, mood, effects, and thoughts, and sociability and the perceptual problems or insight. Okay, all these categories are tells about the mental state of examination. Final, we diagnose with the ICD-10 and DSM-5 as a modern textbook says. Most of the commonly Indian psychiatrists and other we use ICD-10. Of course, DSM-4 we use different axes, okay, for the diagnosis of that. There are certain psychological treatment which is available, that as we all know, as a homeopath also we do psychotherapy, that counseling and psychotherapy, and cognitive behavioral therapy, and some cases when it required the group therapies and relationship and family therapy, and all this we use as and when required. Okay, at the same time art therapies and some musics, the dance likewise, now it is picking up very well. It is nothing but mindful activities, like even the yoga, meditation, occupy in the reality, the present state, okay, instead of going for thinking about other things, so occupy, making them to occupy. So yoga and meditation also helps in that context, and yoga and meditation has got a greater impact on the mindful activities. Okay, that mindfulness is not equal to meditation, but it is one meditation is one of the mindful activities. Okay, so all this counseling, psychotherapy, cognitive behavioral, and other things are quite regularly used. Okay, group therapies are used in case of panic people or anxiety people, or even alcoholic addictions people we are using very commonly. These are the certain medication which is given allopathically. They use the categorical like if a person comes with a depression, antidepressant. If there is a psychotic phenomena, then antipsychotics. If the mood has to be stabilized, then mood stabilizer, like that. There are certain drugs which is particularly used, like antidepressant means lithium, which is majorly affected. Or if a person is acutely stressed, events are coming like panic or something like that, they'll use benzodiazepam or diazepam likewise. So there are so many such informations are there. We'll just skip it. Now comes to the homeopathic part of the presentation. Before I go to case, I will explain the four important aspects what was explained. The most important one is we have to understand it is a one-sided disease. Okay. So in homeopathy, what we understand the disease is disease developed with basically the sora. The sora is like it's in the latent form. It is there within us, but it is not expressed. So when it is expressed, it forms a kind of state of illness. We call it a one-sided. Nothing but it leads to a primarily few symptoms are dominated. That's all. Okay, it may be local or physical. That's what is local disease means. Usually it's said one-sided locally, but mental diseases are all called one-sided disease. So there are some disease expressions are one-sided only. That means predominantly morbid state will have a few principal symptoms which is existing. Okay, and it may be having relations to the previous illnesses. So we may have to understand every case of homeopathy. We have to see how it is started. Like we have to see the morbid phase. Morbid phase means the what person is suffering right now and what are the component of the disease he is having right now, and just go back to the history from okay to not okay. That means when person is not okay right now, and go back to when he was okay. So how it is, how he was earlier, and how it is generated. Okay. So when you understand this phenomena, we understand what disease has entered into him, and later it progressed into a state of kind of one-sidedness. Okay, so in this particular context, we are trying to say there is a disease which arising with a decline of corporeal disease. Okay, the mental disease which comes up with the decline of corporeal. This means there was a physical illnesses which is feeling better, and subsequently the mental symptoms are rising up. So this phenomena is something is very important for us to identify. The moment you understand this particular phenomena of physical illness and the mental illness may have a very few principal symptoms, like there may be hallucination, delusions, and presentation. You may have to get very clearly understand what is the present phase of the illness of the mental. He has got hallucination, he has got his thinking pattern, maybe delusion, or he may be having some restlessness or something like the thought processes. Understand it very clearly, the disease part of it, how individually varies, and connect it to his physical presentation, the pre-morbid state. That's what we say before the morbid state, how this person has got presented with his physical illnesses, how he has expressed, how he was in mentally also. So understanding the both. So pre-morbid state of the illness and the present morbid state, and this combinedly used to arrive at a antisoric drugs. So here what we give an antisoric drug, that means deep acting drug. We are not going to give any counseling and psychotherapy or psychic remedy approaches. We give an we say clearly it is an antisoric drugs. Okay. The second component, mental disease where mental aspect is primarily deranged. That means the primarily the mind aspect is deranged. That means the constant stress or constant some events which triggers every now and there may be some phenomena which is continuous and then becomes a primarily mental disease. So here nothing but you have to adapt a method of psychotherapy. That means you listen to him, you bring the catharsis. That means let him explain what he wanted and let him come out with his feeling states out. That means he can weep, he can explain, he can understand the situation. Like that we have a 12 guidelines what Hahnemann has given. Let us follow that very clearly, then subsequently find out an antisoric drugs to this. So there is a primarily psychotherapy followed by antisoric drugs. Okay, when it comes to sudden outbreak of insanity, there we don't have any role of an antipsychotic drugs in the first hands. We have to give an asoric drugs which is fits to that exciting cause. If there is an exciting cause, the find out that exciting cause, treat it, and subsequently if there is a possibility of recurrence of the illness, give a dose of antisoric. That too, it has to be given in the declining phase of the illness. The moment there is a declining the phase of the illness, you understand there is a possibility of psychomotor activities coming down. Psychomotor means psychic guided motor activities. Okay, so psychomotor activity. So it's coming down. Person is not very restless. He becomes a little calm. Then you introduce. If a person is very depressed, He feels little eye contacts are there, he is doing his activities, he is coming up, then give the antisoric drugs. So primarily you have to take asoric drugs which is pertain to that particular cause only. The fourth important, where you are confused, you are not able to identify whether it is primarily the mental or maybe the physical. In such conditions, you give a trial and error method, give a counsel, and then go for the anti-psoric remedy. So primarily, if it yields, then well and good. If not yielding, then go with the more of approach of first one, that consider the physicals and the premorbid conditions to be given more important in comparison to the present state. But present state cannot be neglected, it has to be used. Okay, mentals are, if there is an exciting cause, acute RX and asoric drugs, premorbid state and morbid state at the corporeal, then we can think of antisorics. Here the maintaining and fundamental cause has to be identified. If there is a maintaining cause, then you know what are the psychotherapies to be given, what has to be changed in a person. That guidance has to be given. If there is a need of change of place, you have to advise to the patient that to change the place of living, so that he can come back with the normalcy into the life. Okay, the psychic remedies and antisorics can be given in such conditions. So you can think of psychic remedies and antisorics, especially where there is a predominantly mental disease starts in the mental plane. Okay. Now we'll go to the case number 1. Okay, so here this is a patient who come with very severe loss of cognitive functions, and she was not aware, and she was not maintained herself, and very severe form of unproductivity. Miss Baby, 35 years, female, Hindu, and doing a job of BD rolling, but very poor performance. He cannot be taken. This is a 2016 case. The presented with patient presented with the complaint of getting angered easily and sadness, and wants to be alone, self-talking since 50 years. Okay, but it is increased since last 2 months. Why it is increased? It has become extreme. Okay, patient is apparently well. 15 years back, there was a incidence that a sexual assault has happened to her, and she became pregnant, and 6th month there was a during pregnancy it has been aborted. Okay, after that she was not talking to anybody, wants to sit alone in a corner, gets angered easily, throws things around, and used to beat her mother. And there are incidences of removing clothes in front of others, and this is something which is a cognitive impairments. Okay, it's not that she wanted or not, that debate will not take up. Okay, it is observed that muttering to self and not maintain hygiene, not willing to take bath. Patient is restless throughout the case taking and not maintain eye to eye contacts. Okay, the past medical history, she was under psychiatric medication for same complaint for 4 months and stopped medication 3 years back. Data about treatment is not available. Okay, past surgical history, nothing significant. Family history, brother is having a psychiatric complaint, he is more or less depressive person. Okay, and other brother who is a normal, he is taking care of this lady. The person history, appetite good, thirst increased, craving nothing significant, is not able to elicit. Okay, bladder movement frequently, she goes to the toilet, and bowel movements once per day, and perspiration is increased, and sleep 12 to 5 a.m. and dreams nil. Thermally not able to elicit. Okay, the menstrual irregularities are there, and 12 years old, irregular cycle, and last LMP was July 2016, the date of case taking previous to it. Okay, induced abortion, 6th month. The life space says same thing. It's a very poor socio-economic group, and brother expired when she was small. Mother was doing coolie work, and she was 2 younger brothers. Okay, I think it is a father expired. Okay, one of them is having psychiatric complaint, and she studied 6th standard. The childhood, she likes to speak to others and used to go neighbor's house, and she used to have a good relation talking to family, other members of their family, and used to do BD rolling work and all this. Okay, at 20 years of her age, this sexual assault has happened, and patient knows that person, but family members were not able to identify them. Okay, She became pregnant and undergone induced abortion. After this incident, mental complaints were started. Okay, the physically how she was appearing very lean and okay, then all other parameters are apparently normal with the physical examination also normal. And MSc if you see eye to eye contact is not well maintained, psychomotor activities are increased. That means she is very restless and walking around and moving around. Rapport difficult to obtain. Okay, and she is not talking to a single person, just she keeps on self talking. Okay, the speech also self talking present and increased rate and volume. The mood not reported, the effect irritable, inappropriate. Okay, thoughts are religious thoughts. The most of the content of her thoughts are very religious. It's more of religious and cultural background. So there is a one the kola, what we say bhuta kola, and she uses that what slang the that bhuta is utters the same slang. She says, I will hit, I will kill, like that. Her movements are also very religious and cultural backgrounded. Okay, cognitive impairments are seen, and judgment is very poor, insight is absent, and memory is not able to elicit. So diagnosis what we fit in is only the psychosis, nothing otherwise very specific. Okay. Now, the totality what we could take in the beginning was self-muttering, restless, anger easily, and want to be naked. You see, whenever this word comes, we are very, what to say, very sure that okay, let us think on lividness. Okay, so but here a little physically appetite increase. She eats regularly, but eats just like she throws food into the mouth. It's not like ordinarily she eats like this, but throws into the mouth. The thirst increased, and the prescription what we gave is HiSMS 0, nothing but placebo. Okay, we just to satisfy our ego, we have written HiSMS because wants to be naked. We thought it may be a lividness. Okay, when it comes to them, but we admitted, the moment we admitted, we saw that sleep decreased is there, PME increased, singing and dancing, and a kind of very restless. Okay, and the first dose what we gave is stramonium 200. Okay, the single dose of stramonium we gave because of the psychomotor activity and also the thought process, that the religious thought and cultural thoughts which is coming up. So we thought it must be religious maniac type, and so let us use a medicine which is called stramonium, which has got good in PMA as well as restless and speech increase. Now what has happened after initial there was a slight response, but fine morning 9, 10, 16, anger reduced, restlessness is there, but self-talking, singing, laughing loudly, and wandering started. Okay, kind of whole ward she started walking around and rounding about. It is 24/7. Okay, in between there was a slight improvement in the sleep. Okay, but this wandering which is happens, which is says that psychomotor activities increase. So straight away we have gone to a Veratrum album because of the wandering aspects. These are the following so up to 9-10 we have continued with the Veratrum 1M, and later we saw this restlessness continuing, not improving, with the self-talking, it's present, and the loud, the violence, beating herself, sleep reduced. But here one important thing is again the religiosity is which is coming up. Okay, so we thought the both remedies were given is Veratrum and stramonium, but now the major remedy has to be introduced that should be little deep acting to this lady. So we thought about Lacosis 200, a one dose. So Lacosis was given the second day of the Lacosis. The violence has reduced, restless has been reduced, self-talking present, everything has been the reduced, sleep improved. So this we have continued, okay, for a longer period. Okay, so we have continued this patient for a longer period, observed him. We have kept on SLs further. Okay, 22, 11, 16, restlessness better, anger reduced, and all this we have discharged with the Lacosis. Okay, we have discharged this lady with the Lacosis, and we have asked to continue Lacosis 0. Okay, we have advised. And see the 6, 12, 16, there is a restlessness better, no self-talking, anger decrease, smiled when asked the questions, not answered. Okay, all this is happened. Okay, so 3117, okay, 31 17, 28 to 17, okay, and it is continued up to 2018. Okay, so everywhere we have not repeated the doses except in the 9 to 18, where she has come with some difficulties. Okay, we have repeated uh, lachesis 1M. Okay, so before that there was a slight increase in the 5-1-18. She had a slight increase in the psychomotor activities and some state of difficulty. So lachesis 200 was given. Subsequently, we gone with the higher potency lachesis 1M. Okay. So subsequently, we have kept in not repeating unless until 2021-6-19 we give lachesis 1M 1 packet. Okay. So this is about the case of baby. I just share one. Okay, I have blurred it just to see. Sorry that I have blurred it because many people used to
So,
use
sir,
other activities. Able
uh,
to see
sir,
now?
sir, I think we are not able to see the video, sir.
Able to see the video?
No, sir, I think the screen got stuck, sir. Sir, I think the screen, we are not able to see.
Is it available now? No.
No, sir. I think, sir, the previous video is only playing. We are just able to hear the audio, sir. I think, sir, you can stop sharing and you can restart the sharing, sir.
ಆ ಸಮಯದಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಎದುರಿಸಿದ್ರೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಹಚ್ಚಿರ್ತಾರೆ
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
So we are just able to hear the audio, sir. I think
You
the
are able
video
to.
is got minimized, sir. The audio we can hear.
Okay, I'll see that. Okay, one minute. Okay.
Sir, you are not audible, sir.
Okay, now you can hear?
Sir, we are not able to see any video, sir, but you are audible, sir. Screen is not yet shared, sir.
Yes, yes. I'll just 1 minute. I will just.
Okay, sir.
That everything started because of other person, that is husband. If he would have been all right, if he would have taken care of me, I would have been okay. So this is the feeling state. What to do, and kind of hopelessness and brooding tendency, we come to the naja. And finally her palpitation is better, and repeated thoughts better, quarreling is better, everything. I have videos of this lady also, but only thing is after her narration. Okay, I will just continue with the different cases. I have time now, Manish.
Yes, sir, you can continue, sir.
So the third case which I am going to present, a lady who has come up with she is already known case of psychiatric treatment. She is on psychiatric treatment. She was on, and she has come up with the fear and fear of ghost and a kind of hallucination of auditory. And after her third delivery, she got it. Now I just skip this particular presentations, that history of presentation of illness. The 14th year of her life, she saw a person in her neighborhood who has got mentally sick. Okay, where she has believed in the parapsychic ideation, superstitious idea, and later she developed in the state of there was a lot of stress in her marriage life, and subsequently she had a third delivery, and she developed a state of puerperal psychosis. And here she never felt that the baby is hers. The major important thinking of her presentation was, she feels that this child, she what she expected was a male child, because already she had a two children who was having, I mean, two daughters, and third should be a male, but expectation was not met, and she has come up with the again third child as a daughter. So this indifference have developed in her, and finally the husband's explanation was, she was not doing her work properly, she is not showing any interest, she is not feeding a child. That becomes the biggest crime from a mother's side, and not caring, and forgetfulness, and she was dull after mother's death, and occasionally weeps and silently. After delivery, the self-talking, irritable mood, and scolding, everything has been increased. Okay, these are the physical general and activities. The mental state suggests it's very deep-seated depressed feeling, and we diagnose it's affective disorder with a depressive episode. Okay, and the current episode is mental and behavioral disorder associated with the puerperium. Okay, this is the analysis what we did, early deprivation of parental love, and married consanguineous happy, responsible of family, overload of responsibility. In fact, suppression of desires sexually because husband was in Gulf and he was not with her. The forsaken feelings were there in the earlier days. The lack of emotional support during the mother's death and silent grief was there, and results in dull forgetfulness and lazy at work. So there is an impairment on both mood and affect as well as cognitive. The third pregnancy, that disappointment ailments from third delivery was there because of the desire mismatch. Okay, that she wanted a baby boy but baby girl. Okay, irritability, avoids child's care. Thermally chilly and thirst reduced, and aversion to meat and sweet. Characteristics: headaches with menses aggravation. This was the throughout her life. Okay. So with this is the totality is arrived, and we thought sadness, despair, and childbed, and fear of dark, and lack of interest. Right now, as it is a puerperal problems as well as problems with the menses related. So these three medicines we were thinking, that Actia, Cepi, and Natramir. The initially we gave Actia Resimoso. Since then she is completely recovered with her all this depressive mode. Okay, finally we gave a dose of Sepia to complete the action of this Actia. Actia and Sepia has got a good complementary relations. So this is another good case that has even the psychotic phase, she is on medication, but she is completely relieved of after getting a Actia followed by a dose of Sepia. Okay. So here Actia Resimosa helped and brought her back with her confidence, and the stress has minimized. Okay. The next important case, this is a case which is referred to me by our Dr. Praveen Rajamali when he was in our institution. This patient has come up with severe breathlessness. Okay. And at the same time, there was a catatonic posture. He was not lying on the pillow, that as if psychological pillow is there. He was lying like that, and catatonic positions were there. He used to stand in a corner in an odd position for a longer hours. This is a kind of psychotic presentation where there he was a known schizophrenic case. He was on medications. Okay, so here what we took report, and here the MSC is this, and you can see the psychomotor activity is retarded, left leg fidgety. But why we say retarded? Because catatonic positions. He was always in one particular position. It doesn't move much. Okay, known case of schizophrenia with the current episode is catatonia, and there is a physical comorbid, that is a bronchial asthma. Now our totality becomes catatonia as such we have taken because of lax movements, no movements, and likewise, and vacant look. The look of a person is a vacant look. Want to remain in silent. He wants like a resting or silent, and chilly, thirsty. And here one more important state is there is a rattling sound in the chest. Okay, he's had a severe abnormal rattling in the chest. We thought of antimatter likewise. Okay, that kind of rattlings. This is a rubric that we have taken, and outrightly it comes to Veratrum Heper like that remedy. And finally we gave a remedy is Veratrum Album 200, which covers even the physical plane, and he was completely better with the asthma as well as his psychotic episode. Okay, here also I have a some video that we'll see. Okay. The next important case, I'm presenting a short cases right now. This patient is a Mr. M who comes up with the acute mania, that is hypomania. Highly religious thoughts are coming and prayer always. Okay, and all the disturbance takes place with appetite and daily routines. So here this is developed all of a sudden and sudden onset. Okay, so there is a hypomanic state, and with this we have come to a conclusion. This is a religious insanity. So straight away we have given a dose of stramonium, and next episode he came up with very clearly there is no further such behaviors. We are not given any antipsorics right now, though we supposed to give, we are not given. We are just waiting. Is there any previously there was no episodes, and we expect there may not be any further episodes, just waiting. Another case of which brought by husband and daughter, and she was not able to identify husband and daughter since last 3 days. Talks about work, and what has exactly happened is the owner has shouted her for not working properly, and keep saying the very same. Then this same word she is repeating, that owner has shouted it, shouted like that. I think it is more of a thought blocked in that particular sentence, and very restless as night, and she was not sleeping, and this is a presentation. Premorbidly very meticulous, responsible, and introverted. This is the key point to understand her what she was earlier. And informant by husband, all that she started is after owner has shouted, you all doesn't do work properly, and since then she started with restless and loquacious, and work not done. Okay, so observation, there is a restless, stupor, improper behavior, like she sat when she was brought, and she was brought inside my chamber. The moment she came, she ran and sat near my, I thought she may come and hit me, but she came and sat near my chair and slept off there. Okay, she doesn't know what to do, where, and exactly. So such a behavior was there, and it was little like psychomotor activities were very high. So what we did, we gave a stat 1 dose of belladonna, just because of that started suddenly, and there is a behavior with psychomotor activities are very high, and she was muttering and kind of loss of sleep. So we gave belladonna 200. one dose, followed by natramur. Why natramur? Because there is a state of meticulous, responsible, introverted person. This is psychotic meticulousness. Because of the work I supposed to do, I will do it like psychotic meticulousness. So we wanted a psychotic remedy which is to be followed well. That must be natramur because she keeps brooding. Okay, so follow up we gave with the natramur 200 as advised. So she has taken this belladonna 200 within 24 hours to 48 hours. She is absolutely become normal. She is able to communicate to the doctor and husband, which was she was not doing from the last 1 week incidents. But subsequently they were given natramur 200, and now the presently patient is on natramur, and she is under my observation still. But she is much better. She has come. She spoke very well. Though she has got certain feeling state internally, they're over concern about the husband and children. Her sleep is not improved completely. So second follow up, what we saw that we gave an natramur in a higher potency 1 m. Okay, this is very important. One case it's you need to solve. Mr. ND who comes up with is a lecturer. Lack of interest in daily activities, says everybody dislikes him. The reason is very funny, and this is utmost with respect to the person. I'm saying that though it looks, but person may feel that all that he feels that looks ugly. His face looks like a monkey. He says that my face looks like a monkey, doctor. The moment he tries to speak to the colleagues, they avoid him, and also hawks and spits. And he feels that somebody is hawking, like make a sound and spits. It's mainly because of his appearance is so monkey type. So this started appearing in every incidences, every location, every area, including when he travels in the bus. He feels that the person sitting next to seat, he leaves that seat and goes and sits somewhere else, and he starts spitting it out. Like uh, he's over concerned about the spitting activities and people moving away from him. This is what happened to him. But otherwise, he's a very good lecturer. He is a very much appreciated in the school, I mean colleges, and students are appreciating him, and he takes a lot of activities in many this one. History wise, he had a history of eczema and typhoid, and then subsequently there is a craving meat and other physical aspects. Thermally, he was a chilly person. Okay, the life space, as I said, he was working very good in as a lecturer in a little remote area, that is 65 kilometer. He has to travel from home, and during interaction, he specifically mentioned he feels he is not good looking. Always comes to home and mentions about this with the mother and says he will die. Spelling mistake. Okay, as he looking good, mother convinces him and sends back to work, and he takes that counseling and goes back, and later on they struggle because he always talks about the I want to die, I will die, like that. Then they were also got scared and they brought to us and for the medicinal help. The local treatment also they have taken, which is not helped them, but nothing helped. They brought him to homeopathy, and he says very specifically that he want to die because he looks very ugly. We tried to convince him frequently, like 2-3 occasion we took for him to convince that how he appears. Okay, so he was not convinced, and he was not willing to get convinced. He says that one or two other reason gives the everyday conclusion that somebody is observing me, and they have behaved like this. See, that may be because of that, but you may be saying because I should feel happy, like that. So he started counter arguing, but still we gave the reality picture, but he was not able to come. Try to counsel the same thing which is going on. Okay, and he is fully buried with this particular thought. Now, most interesting part is this person starts saying that this is the totality what we have taken. The sadness, despair due to thoughts. Thoughts, he looks like a monkey, and responsible, intellectual, and chilly thirsty. Syphilitic miasm. Naturally, what we think is any medicine. Okay, I think I'm crossing the time. Okay.
Sir, medicine is
Or
there
a
in
med
the chat box. Yes, sir. Dr. Shiva Shankar have suggested Aramid, sir.
Huh?
So one medicine is there in the chat box, Aramid, suggested by Dr. Shiva Shankar.
Okay. You can think, because there are different way of we can think, but most importantly what we thought, like suicidal ideation is one of the important part of his life, and looks actually identifying himself is something which is wrong. That's also there. Probably Aram group of remedies, and there are many other suicidal remedy like natramsal, carcinosin, chocolate you can think of. Finally, the analysis comes like this: absorbed in thoughts that he looks like monkey. This is the thought which comes in his mind. It's fully occupied. Feels death is near, must hurry the affairs. This is what we thought, because that doctor, I am going to die. I have made enough insurance act this one to my parents. Though I am a single child, I have made enough insurances so that they can live their own life. This is the planning. The person is trying to plan, is putting his plan outside. Easily offended and vexed with everything, and chilly personality. The medicine is yes. Medicine is mainly because of the feeling state that he is planning everything to settle the affairs. Okay, everything is planning very well and before the death. So this is what the sentence of petroleum which is covers, and all the time the same thoughts which is persisting, absorbed in that thoughts. That is another phase of petroleum personalities. So I gave a petroleum 200, and with that the case is solved. Okay, he is now also he's working as a good post. Okay, so he's a departmental head, etc. Okay, so now comes to the prognostic values. We have better scope when there is a mental disease with a sudden onset. Okay, we have, especially the causes are in physical plane, then we have a better scope. And insanity without convulsions, we have difficult, and it is not that we don't have scope, but we have difficult, especially when there is insidious onset, and causes are moral and mental plane. And if there is a convulsion associated, it's a little difficult for us. Suicidal ideation, of course it is difficult, but it is a direct when it comes to our medicinal indication. So it may be question mark. Of course, it is a difficult cases. We have to see the risk of life of a person. The finally immobility with the contractions, if at all is there, it's a difficult case. With this, I would like to end my the talks, that we have a prognostic value if there is an exciting cause are evident and available. If there is a fundamental cause is elicited, like miasms and maintaining causes are being understood, we can give a good psychotherapy and counseling, and later on we can give a good anti psoric medication, nothing but anti-miasmatically. Okay, and these are the certain tools that we can take for screening the diseases, which useful for the students. Okay, you can go through this. Okay, finally, a big thanks for Alva's Homeopathic Medical College. Okay.
Okay, sir. Sir, can we go for some questions, sir?
Yeah, we can go ahead.
Okay, dear attendants, if you have any questions, you can put your questions in the chat box.
Manish's voice, what happened?
Hello, sir. Can you see the chat box, sir?
I will see. Chat box is not- Stop sharing. Chat.
So the first question is, uh,
Petroleum, Dr. Shivashankar has given that petroleum Archana has given that case. Okay, very good. That is a key point in case of Borix, which very clearly explains. Okay, and Actia and Naja. Okay, what I selected Actia in case of case number 3. where actias are having most of the problem during menses, menopause, pregnancy, like that. So it is one of the key point understanding actia and sepia. Whereas in case of naja, naja is something which we wanted to give a deep acting drug where the person is a brooder. Okay, brooding is one of the indication of naja. The second important point is suffered wrong with, like I am not right reason for this, because of somebody I am suffering. That is what the naja people are usually talks about, the wrong suffered. Okay, so that is how the naja is helped. In case of naja, ignatia helped the patient, like yes, sorry. Okay, so naja is something which is a deeper seated, and it is selected based on her total feelings and throughout her picture. So it is a deep acting, so it is an antisoric only. Whereas ignatia is a asoric remedy, which is given only for the panic episode which was come up with. And any other? Some other questions which previous one I'll just go through. Okay, hearty welcome. No, some. What is it?
Differentiate between stramonium lactaceous and
Yeah, differentiation of stramonium lactaceous and hyoscyamus. Yeah, these three. Hyoscyamus usually you know that which comes up with disorientations. More or less, he doesn't know cognitively. He's lost his thoughts. And undressing is one of the common phenomena without which knowing. That was the first presentation of Miss Baby's case. At the same time, stramonium is highly religious mentalities are there, which is a little violent and restless activities. Even veratrum also has similar, but veratrum has got in even other insanities. But when it comes to the lachesis, this religious bent is adapted in a mind. It's like even in the childhood, she has gone through this experience of cultural background. That's why she adopted that method. So she has become into a deep seated religious affinity and talks of religious affections which has come. So that's how it becomes a lachesis little deeper seated, whereas stramonium and other things becomes a locally asoric tendencies. Okay. Any
Sir, I think no more questions are there, sir.
any other questions? Okay. Okay.
Sir, one more question is there. So, any important remedies for bipolar disorder, sir?
Bipolar disorder, we have many remedies. Like you can think of the first and foremost remedy is anacardium, and most of the time anacardiaceae group, including Rustox. Rustox itself is a medicine which is for the loss of memory, forgetfulness, and like that. That is the primary symptoms of Rustox, which is there in the Metromedica Pura. Almost 38 symptoms of Rustox is available. At the same time, another remedy is anacardium. Anacardium is a superior drug which has got the bipolarity. And you have platina, you have ignatia, you have the remedies like natrium muriaticum, you have all these remedies comes for the depression to the mania. When you say bipolarity, single episode of violence also considered for the bipolarity in a person who is throughoutly is a depressive. If a person is depressive for a longer time and one episode of mania, he is entitled to diagnose as a bipolarity or bipolar disorder. So here the picture is there is an alternating state of mood which is alternatingly comes up. Then you can think of these remedies like anacardium leads the role. Okay. At the same time, platina, or you can think of ignatia, or you can think of other medicines, including arsenicum album also. But it depends on how it is presents. Okay. Yeah, pediatric learning disorder. There are many drugs are there, but one drug which I am trying to tell you, it is significant. Ethusafenafium, the fool's fastly. Okay, you can think of this remedy as a very good tool. Even for those people very forgetful, you can think of remedies like anacardium in the early life. Anacardium may prevent a psychotic tendency in a future length. So you can, I'm not saying there is a preventive medicine for the psychiatric illness, but most of the time in the early picture of any change in the trend, change in the method, way of behaving in a person, If it is seen early and there is a defective in learning, then better use anacardem as a tool, single dose, or sometimes you can repeat it also. You can use that remedy. For learning disorder, there are many, but one recommendation from my side is ethusizumab. Please go through and remember. Okay.
Schizophrenia.
The remedies for schizophrenia, you have many. As I said, that hallucination and delusions, when you say flat affect and other things, you have many drugs. See, our textbook itself, I mean, Kent's repertory itself says Rauwolfie and Medorinum are the remedies for the schizophrenia. If you open up repertory, you can find out. Now, further into our study of psychic remedial picture, we have many such remedies, including anacardum, including natrum, including Naja. There are maybe calcium, Baraita, Kali, groups of remedies are there which can help. But precisely to say, anacardum has got this particular state, and you have remedies like hyoscyamus, veratrum, and belladonna are the remedies which comes predominantly in the beginning. Subsequently, you have to find out a right antisorics, repeated antisorics. I'm saying here right means repeated antisoric. There may be you may have to use multiple remedies as an antisorics only. So you may have to use this sequential antisorics for this particular treatment of schizophrenia. Not single remedy which can bring, but it can give another better picture so that you can complete it. Okay. Okay, medicine for sudden fear after a heavy cyclone or a tree fell on her house. Okay, this is exactly happens in sudden fear. The best and foremost, the fearful remedy that we have is aconite. Without any thinking, we can give this remedy. If it is sudden fear, fright incidences, aconite. The second other remedies, coffee, or you can think of even opium, or even the remedy like calcarea can be followed up well. But best the remedy is aconite for the present incident. But old incidents is still remnant, then it may be opium case. Okay, we can think. Especially opium comes with a groping in dark, like when they are in very situations of hopelessness. They find that ray of hope in a person, so they keep on coming to a doctor, and even if he's not better also, he keeps on following it up for years together. But one day fine, he says that, sir, I am not feeling better at all, what should I do? And I thought you will cure me. And this is the state of fear of extravagance, nothing but opium state. Please think of opium in such condition where he start arguing with a doctor for not improving him for a over a period, maybe 3 months or 6 months, whatever it is. But this is the opium case. But when it comes to the acute stress, there is a possibility of fright fear mechanism. Best is aconite, and we can think of aconite. Okay, antisoric remedy. There are 48 antisoric remedies are there in our Materia Medica. I mean, it's a chronic diseases. Please go through that. It's a very substantially explained drugs. You must go through once the primary symptoms of each drug. That is the essence of dealing such cases. We can deal it in such a nice method. Okay, so I advise this. Go through that 48, only 48 is there according to Hahnemann. So we can go through that, and the rest of the things we know. We have a different set of books like Dr. Shankaran's Profuls, or maybe a kind of explanation, psyche substance by many people. And there are so many articles people write about the psychiatric presentation of our Materia Medica in length. Okay. Psychological conditions where counseling is contraindicated, sir, where there is a, if at all a person has got any kind of psychotic behavior, better not to go with counseling. Psychotic means where there is loss of insight, presence of hallucination and delusion. Will better not to convince him. But psychological disorder as such, most of the time it helps in counseling or psychotherapy, or maybe different techniques can be adapted like CBT, giving a cognitive explanations.
Okay, sir. Sir, I think no more questions are there, sir. Okay, sir. So, sir, if you permit, sir, can we conclude the session?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
I must thank once again Dr. Praveen Raj, Dr. Roshan Pinto, and all the participants who listened me and his team, student body, which performing beautifully. Okay, all the best. Thank you very much. You can go ahead with money.
Okay, sir. So, Faber, you can proceed with vote of thanks. Over to you, Faber.
Good day, attendees. We have come to the end of yet another amazing session. On behalf of management, staff, and Student Council of Dalvas Homeopathic Medical College, I take this opportunity to wholeheartedly thank the day's speaker, Dr. Girish Navada, for spending time with us on this day of break and teaching us your valuable clinical expertise. Thank you, sir, for accepting our invitation and enlightening us and imparting us with your knowledge. A token of gratitude to Advent Biotech for sponsoring the season 2 of Clinical Webinar Diaries. I also extend our gratitude to our principal, Dr. Praveen Raj, Vice Principal, Dr. Roshan Herald Pinto, and AEO, Dr. Pregna Alva, for their support and cooperation and providing us with this platform to learn. Last but not the least, I also thank our enthusiastic attendees for their participation. Thank you, everyone, and good night.
Thank you,
Thank you.
sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much.